came out of nowhere. Okay, so my ex-husband gave me this entire little studio setup, so I'm still getting used to it. So that music was fun, right? Right? Okay, we got that. So maybe I won't talk crap about him in this first episode, but the next episodes, he's fair game. Hey, it's Madden. I have missed you guys. It's about time that I get to this first podcast. Here's how long I've been trying to get to this podcast. I have my original notes for my original first segment, and it says my son was 11. He's 13 now. My kids are the ones who've been urging me to do this. My son set everything up for me. He had to do, we have officially become our parents, by the way. Like all the techie stuff, he had to set up all of the accounts for me. He knows all of my passwords, and he is not allowed to listen to this podcast. Maybe today's, but future podcast, maybe not so much. So my kids are now 13 and 15, and I left the radio station in 2022. So we'll rewind a little bit. I was living in the mountains, and my kids were with me, and they decided they wanted to move to Las Vegas with their dad. Their dad got a radio position in Las Vegas, and my son came to me and said, "Mom, you always told us to take an adventure, and we want to see what it's like in Las Vegas." Their dad does pretty well on radio. He gets into a lot of things, and I wanted them to go. Like, we had always decided that we were also going to let the children decide where they were going to want to be and what was going to make them the happiest. I had two rules for them. They had to go together. There was no splitting up. I wasn't splitting the kids up. And they had to stick it out for an entire school year. Like, they couldn't call me in the middle of the school year and be like, "We don't like it here," or "Dad put us on restrictions, so we want to come home." They had to do it. The school year ended, and they wanted to stay, and that stings, as a parent. Any parent, I want to say as a mom, but it stings for any parent. I knew I needed to be closer, so I started job hunting in Las Vegas. This was not a surprise to anybody. Everybody knew that I was looking for a new job. Everybody knew that I was looking to leave the radio station. It had been a long time coming. I was with the radio station 20 years. So that was my entire adult life. I started when I was 22, and I got out when I was 42. Everybody saw my dating life, my marriage, my divorce, my kids, everything, all my ups, all my downs were constantly public knowledge, which was fine because there were things I could have not said, but my mouth doesn't do that. It kind of just says, right? So I was drowning at the radio station. Radio had been my life. I was struggling with my identity. I was fighting with management all the time. The kids kind of what do they call it now? Rage baiting. Management was constantly rage baiting me. I'm not going to come on here and pretend that I was totally innocent. I wasn't, because I would fight back. But come on, like every day it was something new. And honestly, I was just trying to hold it together. Like when I bought a house up in Murphy's, instead of a congratulations call, I got a, "What are you going to do if the power goes out?" Well, take the day off or go to somebody else's house. So I ended up telling them I'll drive to my parents' house if something happens. Funny thing is, like the next week, the entire valley's power went out. Do you think any of them had to go somewhere else and do the show? No, it was just something new all the time. Like my upper management would tell me, "I don't get you, but other people like you, so I guess we'll just keep you here." Like, who does that? Oh, the big one. How my previous co-host made $22,000 more a year than me. And then when they hired my new co-host on, they gave him equal pay. And I had more morning show experience than the two men combined. And when I found out and I said something to them, they're like, "Well, you wanted equality." Okay. If anybody on this podcast thinks that they hired my replacement at the same amount of money, you could not be more wrong. Radio, in the end, it's just a boys' club. It's a boys' club. You could be the coolest woman in the building, and you're still not one of the boys. It was almost like the better I did and the bigger the show got, the more smothered it became. It was every day was a thing, and I just needed to get out of there. Taylor Swift said it best when she says, "They want you to rise. They just don't want you to reign." Everyone at the radio station knew I was leaving. Every single person. I had cleaned out my office, pictures off the walls, nothing on my desk, over a month, and my office was completely gutted. The only person to ask me about it was my program director. And I was very honest with her and said, I'm looking for another job. I am so unhappy here. Nobody else came to talk to me about it. But oh my God, when I quit, what a shock. Oh my God, all hell broke loose. So I was job hunting. I sold my house and landed a job as a flight attendant on the same exact day. And I felt that was the universe screaming, girl, it's time for you to get out of here. So I gave 1 day's notice. I know. Everybody in management listening to this right now is like, what a nightmare. You could have given a couple weeks. No, remember, I'd been telling them for months that I was on my way out the door. And if you don't know radio, here's one thing in radio that always happens, okay? When you give notice or you quit, they walk you out the door immediately. You don't want to put a disgruntled person in front of a microphone, and I was disgruntled. I wanted to leave on my own terms. I let them know I was leaving, and guess what they did? They sued me. They sent lawyers after me. I had a certain day to let them know I was not going to renew my contract, and I had sent it in 5 days before that I'm not renewing my contract. Do you think management even asked me why? No. And you know what? They never sent it to corporate. So when corporate came after me to sue me, and I responded, hey, I did let them know that I wasn't renewing my contract, they must have thought I was bluffing the entire time. And I wasn't. It was time for me to go. Since I've left the radio station, I kind of kept in contact with some people, but everybody kind of just alienated me, which has been super-de-duper fun. I do, when I run into one of my girlfriends, Jamie Lee, I'll name drop her because she has been nothing but kind. When I see her, she's awesome, gives me big, big hugs. I did keep in contact with another woman who unfortunately recently lost her life to the hands of her husband, which is another day, another podcast, which there's so many things that upset me about that. But probably the most is that how quickly it was swept under the rug because of his job title and because of the people who surrounded their life that knew what was going on behind closed doors and chose to say nothing. So that one hurt really bad. She was the one I kept in constant contact with. And my program director, who I loved and still absolutely love. We were still talking and hanging out every day. She was very much there for me when my mom passed away. These last few months, she kind of disappeared. I'm not exactly sure why, and that makes me sad, but I do appreciate the time that we had together. Leaving the radio station was like a bad breakup, where neither side win. I gave them 20 years of my life. And when it ended, it felt like I was losing I lost a piece of myself. I'm sure it goes both ways. I didn't appreciate them. There are so many things that I regret. There are so many things that I've done that I wish I could take back as well. I didn't appreciate them at the end, and they didn't appreciate me either. So there were hard truths on both sides. So I left the radio station and I became a flight attendant. Oh my God, what was I thinking? I hated it. I was a flight attendant for maybe 5 seconds. It was so bad. It's as soon as people walk into an airport, you lose your damn minds. My son likes to be like, Mom, these people are uncivilized. I've had listeners talk crap to me before, but all day, every day, are you really that mad at napkins? You didn't get more than one? Ask for another one. You all do realize that your flight attendant is your first line of defense, right? If something goes down in the air. Okay, maybe not yell at them about your damn ginger ale. But I hated that job. I hated everything about it. I had to be there an hour before my shift started, unpaid. If I was at work 59 minutes before my shift, I was considered late, and it's points against you. Some people are good at it. I was not one of those people. It was hard, though, going from Madden, the voice that everybody knew, to employee number 115849 or whatever it was at the time. But again, I wanted to be in Las Vegas and I wanted to be with my kids. Okay, so flight attendant was not only not my forever job, it was not even my 10-minute job. During that time when I was in flight attendant school, is when I found out my mom was sick. I'm going to get through this. Losing her was, I still am not there with it. But it also made me realize that life's too short to play small, and I needed to change everything. Like, I wanted to be with my kids, but was Vegas where I wanted to be? And at that time, I just needed to be with my mother. And I got really, really lucky, not because my mom was sick, but because a job for the state of California popped open from an old radio friend. He posted it on his Facebook. I knew some other people who left radio who got into the same job position, and I decided to apply for it. It was a remote position, so I was able to help take care of my mom and get with this job. And, it's funny because my entire life, my dad had told me, get a job with the state, get a job with the county, you should get a job with the city. The benefits are fantastic and it's secure. And I didn't want to. I wanted to stay in radio. I wanted a creative job. So I get this job with the state of California, and you guys, I love it. I have a great team. I feel like I'm going to progress and move my way up in this department. I do miss the chaos of radio, but I'm building something new and something special. And I only go in twice a week for now. They're probably going to move us to 4 days a week starting next year, which is fine. I'll figure it out because I really do like it where I'm at. I like my job. I'm not ready to blend exactly what I'm doing over there, but they've put me in a position to where I can help women again. And that was always a big thing for me when I was on the radio station, was to give back. I love me some females and giving back to the female community and helping women in male-dominated jobs. And I'm finally in a position to where I can do that. I'm getting some good opportunities at this new gig, and I'll probably be moving my way back to Sacramento and getting closer to work. The kids had been staying with their dad in Vegas for most of the time while I was there, and I was going back and forth from here to my job, taking care of my mom, and then after she passed away, back and forth and back and forth. Well, within these last couple weeks, my daughter moved home, which is so awesome. She is back with me in California. My son loves Nevada. He loves Las Vegas. He has an entire game plan. He knows what he wants to do with his life, but also he knows that my door is open for him anytime he wants to come home. He is just ready. He can come home and be a part of this family, and always, we make sure he knows that we want him to do what makes him happy. So here I am back in California with my daughter, living with my dad, which used to kind of embarrass me. But you guys live in California. Man, it's expensive. It's getting more and more expensive every damn day. I have a good job with fantastic benefits and crazy amounts of support, and I don't know how people are doing it. So here I am living with my dad, and that poor thing, because I'm single. I'm 45 years old. I've been divorced. This month is 10 years. Joe and I have been split. And I've had some men in and out, but nothing that's stuck. It could be me. There is a common denominator. I've tried the dating apps. I did those for 5 seconds. I cannot stand them. Plus, I'm in love with a man who's not my boyfriend. And that's just the way it's going to be. Something I definitely need to talk to my therapist about, which I say a lot for somebody who doesn't have a therapist. But I'm working on that. I'm getting one for me and my daughter. My benefits kind of changed up this year, and we're getting ourselves in place while she transitions over here. 15 to 16 was my biggest transition year, my sophomore year in high school. Right now, she's my main focus, so dating is really not where it's at for me. I'm gonna say that, and then that's the time some dude's gonna roll in here. Right now, it's just I need to focus on her. She just got here. Her dad, when I say this, it's not that he didn't put up a fight, but also he knows that she's 15 going on 16. So he's very bummed. He loved having the kids. I'm not going to speak poorly on him as a father ever. I might talk crap about him in jest because he deserves it, but not as a dad. She wanted her mom. I mean, if you're a woman listening to this, it's, when you're 15 and 16, you want your mom. And she was really close to my mom. So I don't think she has mourned that either. So that's something that we're doing together. So anyways, I'm not dating. I do like to flirt and check out guys and all that stuff. The guys that I have dated will definitely come up in future episodes. Like, none of you are safe. So I know there's a lot of missed words, or I don't even know the words that I'm saying. But I promised my friend that she told me, she was like, no scripts, just get out there, just do your first one with no scripts, just get it out there. You've been waiting 3 years for this, just do it. So if I sound a little nervous and a little bit all over the place, that's why. I'm going to do this raw and unedited and throw it in there for you guys. Future episodes are so unsafe because it's after the first one. Then I got this. I'm back in the game. So here I am now. I'm in California. I have this great job with the state of California, and I'm rebuilding everything from scratch. I have a great group of friends, some old, some new, friends that don't bring out the fight, flight, or fright mode. What is it? Flight, fright, freeze mode. Like, they don't disrupt my nervous system. And I don't want to say they're safe friends because that doesn't sound right, but they're safe friends. Like, I'm always happy with them. I know nobody's going to stab me in my back. That'll be a full episode of how many people used me during my career. I have a good group of friends that I hit up when they need me or I need them, or if it's just to talk about football. I'm loving it. I have my dad, which that poor guy, he's living the life of a showgirl that he didn't even ask for. He's got to hear about my dating life. He has to hear about my problems with my kid. He has to, he's my roommate now. We're in this together, Pops. Maybe I'll do a whole show with Papa Madden and the poor things that he's had to learn about me since I've been staying here with him. Half the time, I'm just confident as hell. And the other half the time, I'm asking ChatGPT, like, how do I start over without losing my mind? ChatGPT is my bestie, by the way. So if anything ever happens to me, I have a friend that needs to just wipe out my ChatGPT. I do my meal prep with it. It's my therapist. ChatGPT, those movies where people marry a robot? That's totally going to be me. So right now I'm trying to find myself and who I am. I still love to grill outdoors. It's still one of my favorite things. We call it the smoke show. I'm always out there with my Traeger as much as I can. Grocery prices are absolutely outrageous. So this is the part where I'm going to get serious. It's hard for people out there right now. Families are struggling to eat. If you want to help, start local. Follow my friends over at the Second Harvest of the Greater Valley. They post weekly food distribution calendars where you can go get a pantry, their pantries, and you can get food, how you can volunteer, how you can donate. Check in with your local food pantries. It's simple. You could share a bag of groceries, a few minutes of your time. All of that makes a huge difference. Right now, things are pretty tight in my family as well. So I collect the bags, like the bags from the grocery stores, and I bring them to the food bank because they need to distribute that food somehow. So even the smallest thing can help, like sharing the information. If you can't help monetarily or with your time, share it on social media. Y'all are talking crap about everything else. You can share where people can get a meal to themselves. So here's what this podcast is going to be. It's going to be called Now You Know, because not that you care, but Now You Know was way too long of a podcast title. So it's going to be Now You Know, and it's going to be my therapy. We're going to talk about life, pop culture, family music. I have loved country music my entire career and was on a pop radio station because apparently I wasn't family friendly enough for the country station. Whatever. Taylor Swift, duh. If you're not a Swiftie, maybe don't check in here. Maybe I'll even put on those episodes, hey, this is going to be Swiftie. No, you guys can be part of it. You got to know. It's going to be about dating and healing. I'm going to have interviews with other people. It's not going to just be about me. This space is for honesty, it's for healing, it's for humor, and it's for this messy, messy life that I've had. If you have ever lost yourself and started over and you just want to be seen, then this podcast is for you. I want it to be funny, and I want it to be friendly, and I want it to make your day. So you can email me withmadden@gmail.com, withmadden@gmail.com. Hit me up if there's something you want to ask, if there's something that you think my future podcast should be about, if there's something you think I've done before that was funny or stupid, email it to me and let me know. You want me to start name dropping your exes? We'll do a whole show about that too, ladies. You know I'm here for it. But I'm so glad to be back. I love seeing all of you in public. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making me a part of your life. And I love you all. Not that you care, but now you know.